Hi, happy Women's Day. I hope we are celebrating and the day is going on well. And I hope you have really wished someone happy Women's Day because women are really vital. We need them in this country. And today, on this special day, I would like to share with you my life story. I have been struggling with this for about 7 years. I always want to say it out. The moment I start, I feel like who the other part is not going to make sense, so like I always struggle with it. I remember in the other video I started some part of the life story, but I ended up not talking about it so much because I was feeling something within me that I wasn't very comfortable with it. But I believe today I am going to say it out. The devil is a liar. So today I would like to share with you my story, and I hope it is going to impact someone's life positively, and also we get to learn from each other. So, like I said earlier in the other video, uh, I am I come from a family of 6 siblings. I have 4 brothers. I had a sister, but she died when I was 4 years. So I am the only sister to my 4 brothers, and I thank God for them because they love me so much. And I am also the last born of the family. So I hope when they hear these stories, they will also get to feel the love that I have for them. And I keep praying for them every day that God should bless them wherever they are. So, my mom gave birth to me, and my dad, who was so much happy when my mom gave birth, unfortunately, he died when I was 1 year. So, after his death, anyway, by that time I could not really, I was still too young, I could not understand anything. But then later, as I was growing up, when you ask people where your father is, because you see people have their fathers, like everyone had their fathers, but me, I did not have. So I would ask people around me, including my mom. They would just tell me that your father has gone on a journey, he's going to come back. He has gone on a journey, he's going to come back. Like no one would tell me anything. So as I grew up, I was about 5 years. I asked my mom, I was like, today you need to tell me the truth, because now every child I play with, they talk about their fathers, and me, I don't talk about my father. What happened? So she told me the truth. She told me, Anna, your father died and is not going to come back, but I am going to be here for you. So that thing, I felt like, oh, okay, since my mom is here, it is fine. Even if my dad is not there now, at least I know that he's no longer there. He has not gone for a journey, he's not going to come back. So at least I am very sure that I don't have a father. But then my mom gave me that conviction that, even when your father died, I am going to be here for you. So in my heart, I felt so much loved. And I know we used to go to Sunday schools, they would teach us a lot about God being our father. So like I embraced that, and God became my father. Anything small that I would want to tell my father, I would tell God, I would tell my mom, and I feel like I'm okay. So that's how life was. So I joined P1. I studied P1, and by God's grace, I was being sponsored by Compassion International. And something about Compassion International, they are doing a very great work. Not all of you may not feel their publicity so much, but Compassion is doing a lot of work. And for me, I am a testimony. They have helped me since I was 6 years up to when I was 22 years. So they have been there for me. So part of my life journey, I'll be talking much about Compassion because they have been there for me. So they paid my fees from P1 up to P7. There we used to, the fees was not much. My parents would also do their part, Compassion would also do their part. But life at home, much as someone helps you with school fees, life at home doesn't change a lot. So things at home were hard. Most times I watched my mom cry. I remember in 2008 there was hunger outbreak, and we did not have food at home. Like We slept hungry for 2 good days without any food. You just take water. And you go back to school. Other children, maybe they will be having something to eat. They're going for breakfast. They have at least some 200 shillings. They go and buy something, but for you do not have anything. So life was really hard. I came back home. I was so tired. I tied my stomach with some clothes so that I could feel better. The next day, my mom made for us porridge, like porridge out of cassava flour. So you find that it is not even nice, but then since it's the only thing that can keep your stomach a bit heavy, you take it. So we took that and we slept. The next day we went to school, came back, no lunch, came back in the evening. I found my mom had cooked this banana that is not ripe, like not ripe, I mean, but not ready. Like it was still not ready. It was still these young ones, like they are not ready yet. So she cooked them, and also she cooked some greens. For those who know alur, otigo, so you find that banana and otigo you have to eat. It is so hard. You are given two pieces of banana and otigo. You drink otigo, you eat the banana. So like, life was not easy. But then to me it was not so much like as we may see it, as I may see it today. That time life was good because my mom was there. So my mom was my strong pillar. She's my pillar of, like, I feel like I am always strong wherever I'm near her or whenever I see her, because she has gone through a lot. So we ate that. The next day we go to school, you come back. Life has not been easy. When life favors you, then at some point you start eating at least once a day or even twice a day. But it was very rare to find that you're eating breakfast, lunch and supper. It was not easy, because now at some point my mom could not do business. There was no money. Where your money for capital sometimes even have to act like money for feeding and to do a lot of things in the house. So she could not keep the capitals. At some point the business collapsed, and my mom only had one garden. We only had one garden, and in that garden you plant cassava, you plant potatoes, you plant a lot of things. So you find that even when that one garden, you have to wait until all those crops have grown, and when it's done you need to start replanting. So it was not easy, but anyway, life was okay. So other people would even tell my mom that a girl will not even study. These girls don't even these girls who pretend to be in school, sometimes they tend to meet boys during daytime. For you want to pretend that in this village you are the one who sleeps with your daughter in one hut. This girl will not even study. Whether you do what, sometimes you're over strict on her. What will allow the girl to move, allow the girl to have time with other girls, allow the girl to do like a lot of things. I don't know why they are feeling like that, but my mom would say, if she's my daughter, she's going to follow what I say. And for me, life was not bad for me. Like, it is other people, maybe neighbors, what they will see that my mom is being hard on me, but to me it was okay, because I know that I will not mess up. If she gives up on me, then I'm also going to become very weak. I will not even concentrate. So I finished P7. I passed well. I wanted to go to good schools, but then situations at home. So I went to Ediofe, where it was my first choice. I got it, and I went to that school. Compassion was helping us, paying the fees, but of course they will not pay everything. There are some parts that parents are supposed to pay. So my brothers helped me and paid some fees for first term. First term was very good for me. Second term, things were so hard. Second term, things were so hard. So I only had contact from my brother, and it was not going through. My things were done. Things like soap, sugar, escort, there was nothing. So I was like, how am I going to manage all these things? I would go and pray, come back. And now there's something that is funny, but also someone may not even think that it happened, is that if I want to bathe, because now I used to first bathe without soap, but it was inconveniencing. Like, I felt my body would be dirty, like I'm not clean, like, I don't feel comfortable. So I was like, how do I get soap? Because I'm one person who doesn't like sharing my problems with people. So I would go to the bathroom when after everyone has bathed. I go and look for those trash, those small soaps that, when someone has bathed, and throw them just anyhow. So that's what I would collect and use them for bathing. And some of them would fall really in a place where it's so smelly, like it smells a lot, but I will still pick, clean it, and bathe with it. That's how I managed, like, for 2 good weeks, and no one would know. So I had my friend whom I used to share a lockup with. She saw, and she was like, Anna, these days you don't seem okay. Like, what's the problem? Because now that time I would fast, I would pray. I don't even know. Like, I think my life just changed. I was like, God, if you could do for me a miracle, I would really be great. And then they came to chase people for school fees. I didn't even have anything to tell the head teacher. Something just told me, you go and tell her that organization is coming to pay you. So I went to the head teacher's office, and I was like, since the organization had paid their part and the other part remaining was for my parents, I had to go and lie to her. I told her, you know what, the other remaining part, the organization is coming to clear it. She was like, oh, that is very good. So she gave me the clearance form. I was okay. I sat in class. So I went and prayed. I was like, God, I need to fast. I need to pray. I fasted for 3 good days. No eating, no food, no water, no nothing. I was so thin. And then my friend came. We went for prayers. That time I prayed uncontrollably. Like, I could not even remember what happened. But I prayed. Everyone else had moved out of the prayer room. I was the only one who remained there. So I prayed. I went for supper. The next day I was called in office that, Anna, they are coming to call you. Like, since I reported in that school, no one has ever called me that they are calling you, because I know no one will even go. I was so surprised. I even asked, I was like, are you sure they are calling me? Like, Anna, that, are you Rose Anna? That, yes. So I went, and guess what? I found that they had cleared my fees. You don't want to imagine the kind of joy that I felt. I was so happy. And it was still the same people of Compassion who cleared that fees, because now they are doing needs assessment, and then they saw that they are helping academically talented, like out of the needy children they are looking for the neediest, but the ones who love school. So they did some they topped up my fees, I think with some other students also, but I was among them. So I was so grateful. I thank God, and that time was the best for me. I believed in God. So that the time before even that one was done, my lockup was this friend of mine was not happy. She would be like, Anna, we go for breakfast, and I'm like, no, I'm not going, because I would take porridge. It's very easy to take porridge without sugar, but it's very hard to take tea without sugar. So I would just take. She was, Anna, but these days you don't even want to go. What is everything done? Do you have sugar? I say, yes, I have. Do you have this? Yes, I have. So one day she got up, she picked my key. When she picked my key, I didn't know she went to my case, opened my case, and then she saw nothing. There are only books there. So when she saw the books, she was like, so it means Anna has been keeping all this from me. This lady went and bought everything and put them in my case. She brought for me the key. When I went back, I saw everything in my case, like sugar, soap, escort, even soda. I was like, what's happening? Where am I? Who is this? My case? I think someone has misplaced these things in my case. I looked at the books in the case. They are in my names. They are all my things, but I was wondering, So she came and she was like, Anna, I am very sorry, forgive me, but I know you would not even open up to me, but I had to look for ways and look at your case and see where you're like you're missing something, and I found that you didn't have anything, so I went and bought for you. Please, in good faith, accept it, please. The girl was pleading. I cried real tears. I was like, God, why am I poor? Like, why are we poor? Is this how I'm going to be suffering? Is this how people are going to be helping me? Like, I need to help myself. I need to have some of these things by myself. I don't need people to disturb people. Because now for me, when someone helps me, I feel like I'm bothering them. So I thank God for that girl. I don't know where she is right now, but I really want to look for her. I don't know where I'm going to find her. So we went there. That time ended. Next time came. Third time, it was also hard. Like, it was not easy, but also God made us go through it. Now, in senior 2, we are like, with all these problems Hannah has been facing in Ethiopia, and with the school fees that they are paying, we don't think we have the money now, like, to be paying for Hannah. We need to bring her back to Pakwash in a school that we can afford. So they told me that. I was like, me, I'm okay. As long as I'm in school, I would not even care a lot. As long as I am in school, I am okay. So they brought me back to Ogenda Girls. Now, for those who know Ogenda Girls and how it is, that shift from Ediofe Girls to Ogenda, it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like you have just dropped from up to down like this, and you don't know how to get up. Hey, but I was like, okay, the only thing I have right now is to do what has brought me to school. So I went to the school. Most of the things we had covered, like, I had to be flexible. I had to adapt to the school. I got many friends. My teachers liked me. Everything was going on well. I had good friends who were also performing well. We did well. And anyway, that school fees challenge was sometimes being solved. Majorly Compassion would come and help me, and my mom would struggle. She would stay in the garden. We even got land across the bridge, and during holidays we sleep there in a very small hut. We stay there. We dig to get money for scholastic materials, to get money for some other basic needs that I would need in school. We would dig. Then I passed well in senior 2. So they told me, Anna, now you're passed well, you're a very good performer, and we do not want to lose you in this school. We are going to give you a full scholarship. You're going to study here senior 3 and 4 for free. Wow, that was the best news for me. I was like, God, thank you. So when I came back home, I told my mom. She was so happy. She prayed for me. I went to Compassion. I told the staff, okay, they are happy, but then not so happy, because they are like, we know you may not perform very well in that school. If you want to really pass well in senior 4, maybe because of the quality of the education, but we know you're very happy, but you need some other better school. Okay, and then by that time, the director, they helped me write some concept about my issue, what to the national office, and also the chairperson for the church also picked me. By that time, Pakwash was under Nebi, so we went to Nebi. We were moving to offices. They're telling people that, okay, like people who could help. They're like, this girl is in need. She needs money for school fees, and she's very bright. I had my results. Yeah, like, we moved to some offices. They showed me. And then people are just like, oh, that is very good, but then we don't have money. So at that time, me, I didn't even feel it. I was like, I know I'm going to study. I don't know how I'm going to study, but it's well. So after moving with me to offices to look for who can sponsor my education, who can help me out, we went to Sunrise, and the school allowed me. We got admission. Now we got admission. We didn't know how we are going to pay the fees. We didn't know how we are going to pay the fees. We didn't know how I'm going to come back to school. because Sunrise the fees is a bit high. And so we came back. I was like, oh God, we still have some time, like 2-3 weeks to go back to school. Do your miracles. Me, I am here waiting. So the guys of compassion, they called me to office. They are like, hey Anna, you're going back to Sunrise. We have got for you some money, and we pray that they give you top up your fees. Okay, my brothers were also trying, but then they do not have really stable jobs that they can be helping me every time. So they needed also somebody to be helping them. So when I went back to school in Sunrise, life was fair because my major aim was to study. I wanted to study. So I passed well in senior 4. I wanted to go for nursing. As a child, at first I wanted to become a social worker. Later I changed my mind. I wanted to become a lawyer. I changed my mind again. I wanted to become a nurse. So being a child, you keep changing your dreams from one to another. So I after senior 4, I wanted to go for nursing, and there was no fees. I'm like, okay, let me be home. So I stayed home for the whole of first term. I did not study. And then my brother was like, Anna, I don't like the way you're at home, that environment and what. You come to Kampala, stay with me, and then we'll see what to do. So when I went, they took me to some school. I went to that school. The dose was like, this girl is bright, all her sciences and arts are balancing, and then I don't know what combination to give her, because now for me I wanted science, and he said this school, since our standard is not so well, we don't really do well in sciences, so it would be better if you give her arts combination. My brother was like, just give her anything that can keep her in school, and also she likes God so much, so she has to have divinity in a combination, and she also has to do economics. So I was like, okay. They are just discussing things, and I was just okay. So they gave me that combination of head and some math, and everything went on well. I studied, but also life became so hard in senior 6. That one I don't know. I felt sick. I could not walk. I had a lot of things, like I was a day scholar. My brother lost his job. My wife lost his job. Things became so hard. I would stay home alone without anything, with no food. My brother went to look for jobs in other areas. I was alone at home, no nothing. Like, I would go to school. I had friends in boarding. I'll eat their lunch. When I eat their lunch, that is the food for the whole day. I come back home, no supper. I just sleep. And then the next day, the same thing. The next day, the same thing. Life became so hard. My friend came to me over the weekend. We just sat with her, and she was like, Anna, we have stayed here for some time. I don't know what we are going to eat. Are you cooking or not? I told her, I wish I could cook. And when every time I look at you since you came, I'm just feeling pity for you, because now I don't have anything to offer you. I don't have any food. I don't know really how you're going to take it, but that's the truth. I don't have any food in this house. There's no even sugar that I can make for you tea. So I was like, Anna, for how long have you been living in a life like this? So I told her, it has been long. It has been long. It's almost a month now. I'd grown so thin. She was like, Anna, I need to tell my mom. You need to go and stay at our home. I said, no, I am not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here. I came here to stay with my brother. So even if he's not there, I'm going to stay here at home. I'm not going anywhere. So I refused. I told her, actually, I'm not thinking about myself. I am only feeling bad that you came to visit me, and I don't have anything to offer you. So that is the only thing that is worrying me. Otherwise, my life, I am okay with it now. So she didn't feel well. The next day, she took me to her mom. We stayed there for a day or two. I was like, I can't, I'm going back. The mother was like, stay. I was like, no. So the next time she came, she brought for me some food. I became very sick. I was alone and there was no money for treatment. It would take me 1 hour to walk to the school, yet I used to walk like for about 10 to 15 minutes. I was so weak. So I would go to school, come back, but I had malaria. So the malaria was so serious that my bones could no longer function properly. So when I went to school, we also had our director from Compassion. He went and visited me in that school. When I reached the office, he was like, Anna, is that you? I said, yes, I am. And I was laughing. No, I don't know why I laugh even when there are problems. So he was like, Anna, I can't believe it is you. You have grown so thin. You're looking like you need to go to the hospital. But I brought for you a letter. You need to write this letter. When you're done with writing this letter to your sponsor, I want to take you out and we go and eat food. I was like, it's okay. So I wrote the letter, we went out. But when you take long to eat food, sometimes also you don't have the appetite. And with me being sick, I was just like, I can't. So he gave me money. He was like, this one is for your feeding until the term ends. It was second term. And then he also gave me some money. Was like, this is for your go to the clinic, get some treatment. So I went to the clinic, I got some treatment, I got back to my feet. I finished second term. It was like, they sent me money to go back to home during the holidays. When I reached home, my mom made an alarm. She cried. So like, oh my daughter, is this how you're looking like you're so thin? What's the problem? I told her I'm okay. Books were hard. So like, I don't think they're books. So all these problems I was going through, I didn't want to tell my mom because I know she would be stressed. I didn't want to stress anybody with my problems. So they took me back. Third time they paid. I went back to boarding in senior 6. I went back to boarding in third term and I performed very well. I was the second best in the school. So during the holiday, I was volunteering with our Compassion, but also teaching a nursery school at the church. And that my first salary was 80,000 with our school. I saved some part of it, but I also had to make sure that I provide food at home. I started making porridge in the evening. I would sell porridge so that I could also have some money that I can save to help me with the process of getting admission at the university, where I don't know where it's going to come from. I didn't apply for government. So one of my friend called me. He was like, there is MasterCard scholarship in Makerere. Anna, you need to apply. I was like, okay, send me the link. So I struggled. I applied for that. And when I applied, it was a whole process, interview, coming home, what, a lot of things. And also at Compassion, I'd also applied for a scholarship. So I got the one for Compassion, I got the one for MasterCard. I had to choose MasterCard. So I went to Makerere. We studied. Life at campus was good. MasterCard did as well. Also, they had capacity building, mentorship program, a lot of things. They connected us to mentors. I have 2 mentors that were taking me throughout the year. So those women really did well to me. They would help me a lot. They would advise me. They would give me opportunities, a lot of things, and I really liked it. So at campus, I served. I was in leadership position. I served in NEMSA. I served in MasterCard, and all those strengthened me. So after that, after we graduated, I got a job. The first job was through recommendation. The second job was through recommendation. The third job I applied, and it was a very rough interview, but I went through. So, and then you find that what do you learn from this kind of story? The reason why I'm telling you this story, one is to encourage you. Sometimes you may think that when you don't have money, that's when you should stop studying. We also have children these days. I see very many children who tells me, when I ask them, why did you stop schooling? There was no money, there was no school fees. But also there are many children out there who do not have school fees. But then when I ask them, what do your parents do? And then they tell you they do this and that. And in a day you find a parent is drinking like 3 bottles of beer, 3 bottles of alcohol, that costs around 15,000. And then you're like, if someone can afford 15,000 in a day, what's wrong with paying someone school fees? These children in primary who are paying 15, 18, 20,000, like 30,000, why are they not paying their school fees? I know if my mom was someone who gives up easily, I would have also stopped schooling. When I talked about compassion, we also had so many children. I think I was number 223 in Amor CDC. But then you find that out of the 223, when you see right now, I think less than 5 or 10 of us have studied. So when I am talking about this, I think someone will say compassion was there for you, what. Sometimes you have opportunities, but we can't use them. So all these people just left school, others dropped out of school in P3, P4, P5, P6. And then you find that for you who have studied, it really requires resilience. And also considering where I grew up from, there are many disco halls, many disco operations. It is very rare for a girl who grew up from the community where I come from and she has not entered a disco hall or a cinema hall where they put the films, it is very rare. But for me, I have never entered in those halls. I have never. And I also made it clear to myself that I don't need to follow trends. I don't need to do what other people are doing, but I need to do what works for me. So at times, people may think that because you're growing up in a community where people are behaving like this, you also have to now behave like the other people. I knew what I wanted. So on this special day of Women's Day, I would like to encourage all the young women out there that you have your own race that you're fighting. Do not let anyone misguide you. Do not let anyone tell you like, the way you're living your life like this, you're going to be too local, You're going to be too local because you don't go to clubs. You're going to be too local because you love God. You're not doing this, that's why you're not feeling the modernity. So people will come up with a lot of things, but if you know what you want, the best thing that a woman can do is to know what she wants. If you know what you want, no one will force you to do things that they want for themselves. Some will make you feel like what you want doesn't make sense. Some will make you feel like what you want is really not going to help you. But if you know that what you want makes sense, if you know that what you want is going to give you is going to produce for you good results, just do it. So sometimes our backgrounds has taught us a lot of things, but the most important thing is we have to be grateful to God that wherever that we come from, whatever background we come from, we are right now where we are right now. We have reached here, and we need to be grateful to God. So sometimes we don't want to thank God because you feel like you want 10 million and then you only have 10,000 right now. So you start saying, how will I get the other one? Every day you're praying, God, I need money. God, I need money. But you can't thank Him for what you already have. Sometimes, even when you're losing it, like when you feel like not thanking God for anything, you first see where you came from. Is that where you are? Or you have moved a step ahead? So let us be grateful to God that wherever we have reached, it has been by God's grace, and is going to help us through. But also I want to encourage all the young women out there that your circumstances that does not define your destiny. You're running different races. The only thing that will make you succeed is you being focused. When I say focused, I mean blocking your ears from all type of distractions, because we have so many distractions. Sometimes we are distracted by the things that we feel like it's going to help us, by the pleasures of now. Like if I don't enjoy life now, I know next time I will die and I will not enjoy life. So you find that you kill your dreams. But also being distracted, sometimes you can be distracted by other, by copying, or by trying to compare yourself with others. You may be the same age and then you don't have what your other friend of the same age has. So you don't have a job, you don't have a house. The other one is saying, I have a house, I have a business that is stable, what, I am married. So sometimes you feel like for you, you're not moving a step ahead. Let us first see, even if you have moved an inch, that you be grateful for that. So stop comparing your life with other people. We are running different race. So even as a girl, I know some of you are at school, you're studying. Do not give up. Stay focused. And if you're still in secondary or what, stay away from things that are going to distract you, like relationships that are going to really affect your studies. Because some people are in primary, but then you find that if the moment you get pregnant, that may be the end of you. But also sometimes you may go back to school, but it doesn't mean that you will really go back to school. So some people, it doesn't work that way. So I want to thank you all so much. As you enjoy this day, I celebrate all the women out there. At least wish one person happy Women's Day. So I love you all. I think you'll be joining in more for other topics, for other things. And if you have anything, if you have any story that you like to share with us, you're most welcome. And just contact me. My email will be running, and I know we'll get in touch. Thank you so much. Bye. How are you? I have a meeting at